Here's exactly what I learned, bro. Dude said I would invite B2B executives onto an interview for a research study. And that is all I fucking needed. That is all I needed. I was like, wait a fucking second. Invite them for an interview. Research study. Why don't I just record that shit and call it a fucking podcast? So that's exactly what the fuck I did, bro. Legit. Like, swear to God.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Why Marketing Sucks podcast. We have the one and only Jordan Lally here, good friend of mine, and I'm ready to dive into everything that we have to discuss here. Jordan, how are you?
I'm fantastic, man. Thanks for inviting me onto the show. I'm stoked to be here.
Absolutely, man. I'm happy to have you here. So let's get into it. Um, Looking into the why or the high ticket AI systems that you built so far, I want to just learn a little bit about it. Who
Absolutely,
are
man.
you, what you do, and all that fun stuff.
For sure. So as you said, name's Jordan Lally. The company is High Ticket AI Systems. We essentially install cold outbound systems into agencies, coaches, consultants, enterprise SaaS companies to help them land more appointments or to essentially land more sales. There's several ways we can go about that. Our proven offer right now is essentially installing a podcast as a trust compression mechanism to really build trust with the audience and the guests, which then later converts into sales. We have tried other ways in the past, like an audit as a lead magnet or a blueprint or a playbook as a lead magnet, but the best one that we're seeing in the industry is the podcast. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting because I hear a lot of people say like cold outbound is kind of dead. How have you found that that works for you?
You know, I'm sure you get bombarded with a bunch of cold emails, right? Saying, hey, here's our offer. Do you want it? Like, I don't know about you, but I just delete all of those, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I'm not hopping on a quick 15-minute call for you to sell me. But what we've realized is by inviting someone onto a stage where we give them something of value, like a full edited podcast or content, and even the long term benefits like SEO and AI SEO because of the citations, we've realized that people are way more susceptible to that. And to take it one step further, people might be thinking, oh, like, is that like, sure, a bait and switch or like a trick to get them like on a sales call?
Yeah.
You can view it however you want it, but I'm a firm believer that is not the case. Here's two reasons why. One is we're delivering on our promise. They signed up for the podcast and short form clips. They're getting that regardless. Second thing is if I believe that I can help this company grow and scale and I don't offer to help them, how am I doing anyone any service? Not only am I not servicing myself, but I'm definitely not servicing them. Right. So that's my belief behind it. Other people may, disagree, but to each their own, that's fine. I know we're getting good results and our clients are getting amazing results from it as well. So that's that.
No, I love that. It really is like creating the value up front and allowing them to actually like kind of dive into it before you even like tell them what it's about. And then they get on the podcast like we are right now. They can talk about themselves, you can learn about them and all that fun stuff. So I think it really is like a genius way of going about outbound that probably not a lot of people have thought about.
For sure. And like our core offer, like the mechanism that we call it is the reverse outbound system because we're
Okay.
sending a bunch of outbound messages, but everyone is booking inbound appointments onto our counter. So it's like reverse outbound, if that kind of makes sense.
Now you said you started with trying to do like audits and stuff like that. What did that look like and why didn't it work?
Good question. I think two reasons. One, the quality of the lead magnet. And two, people said yes to free things, but never took action on the free thing because when it's free, there's no value. But I'll kind of paint the full picture. So I'll take an SEO agency as an example. We would say, hey, we found two things that are worth your attention. We ran a free audit. Just reply yes. We'll send it to you, like no questions asked. They're completely free. We would get a lot of yeses. The problem, and I think it could have been laziness or like Claude Code just came out at the time, and we essentially built the entire audit on the back of Claude. And for anyone out there that uses AI or at least as much as we do, you realize that you need a human in the loop for this type of material, right? It can get you 80% of like the way there, but you're going to need like 20% human in the loop to actually make sure it looks good. Initially, we didn't have that last 20%. We just sent them the free audit. And I do want to be transparent about it. It didn't look the best, but it was able to convert because the people that did read it and say, okay, this isn't half bad. Let me book a call with this person. Like we were still able to convert sales. It just wasn't as much as we wanted to at the time. The second reason why it didn't work, I guess, yeah, kind of getting back to if it is free, then like there's no really value in the free audit. You know what I mean?
Was a little bit generic in the terms of like they probably received something similar by somebody else.
100%, bro. It
Yeah.
was like making up keyword terms that aren't even in their fucking like key like for their company. Just
Yeah.
honestly dog shit. It was just fucking dog shit, to be honest.
I
Yeah.
mean, fuck, you got to start somewhere.
For sure, for sure. And I think I took the approach that sure Alex Hormozy has or any other big name person in the space that you want to lead with value, right? So I'm like, okay, how can I do that from a cold email perspective? Because I know when people ask me for time, I'm just not going to show up to a fucking sales call, dude. Like, fuck you,
Yeah,
right? So I wanted to flip it. I wanted to flip that angle on its head. So I initially started with the free lead magnets. And the idea, the concept was great. It was just the wrong fucking lead magnet, dude. Like as soon as we went to like, okay, let's do the podcast, like we can talk about the business. You get to know me, I get to know you. You get content, I get content. It's truly a win-win. Dude, I swear to you, not that the business blew up overnight, but we went from like 2 clients to like 20 clients in like 3 months. And it was like fucking fantastic. Yeah, dude. It was crazy the amount of like, I don't know, results that we got from that. So yeah.
that's interesting. So going from 2 to 20, what did that look like internally? Like, how did you scale it and how did you maintain it?
That is such a good fucking question. Okay, so we have built out now we definitely have human in the loop. Like best fucking believe we have that shit in now.
Yeah.
But like when I first got started, no. We essentially have an AI SDR that replies to all of the emails on all of our clients' behalfs. If the AI SDR does not necessarily know what to say, we have a human email manager that just replies to the email for our client. So the lead is still getting replied to, answering their questions, and attempting to book in that appointment or that 15-minute triage call. When it comes to the like gathering of the list data and email or verifying the emails and like the whole pipeline, that whole process between like onboarding and getting their campaign launched, a lot of it nowadays really is done by AI. But again, we do have like a full-time account manager that their job is to oversee that and watch that. And recently, and I will talk about this as well, we hired 3 sales reps. One was the person that was taking over the 15-minute triage call. And then we hired 2 hosts, which eventually turned into closers. I hired fast and fired fast. So they're no longer with us. In a span of 3 weeks, I went from 0 sales reps to 3 sales reps. And then in like 3 weeks and one day, no sales reps all over again. So it was kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And let me tell you why. So I realized that in business, the goal of the business is to be profitable, not to make like sure you can make friends in business, but when it comes to hiring,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to spare your own feelings or spare their feelings and say, look, dude, like I understand you want to work here. You're a cool guy, and the guy I'm referring to is like a gym friend. I'm like, you're cool, bro. Like you have hustle, you have grit, but no offense, like you're just incompetent. Like when it comes to like doing what the fuck we're doing. Like no offense to the guy, bro. Like he didn't know how to work Slack or fucking email. Like, bro, how the fuck are you 20 years old and don't know how to work a fucking email, dog? Like, anyways, the other guy, not to go into specifics, like Nathan, if you're listening, his name is also Nathan. Swear to fucking God. Yes, Nathan Austin, bro. No fucking bullshit. His name is Nathan fucking Austin. Nathan, if you're listening, dude,
Nathan, you're probably an awesome dude.
yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. It's all love, bro. Come back in a few years, like I said, and like we'll have you back. But anyways, so getting back to your question, dude, how was the internal process? Dude, a lot of like SOPs and training. Like here's how to do XYZ. If XYZ is not working, like here's the backup solution to this. At first, it's a lot of hand holding, don't get me wrong. But eventually, once they figure it out like 10, 20 times, you can trust them to just get the fucking job done correctly.
Yeah, and once you put those things in place, and a lot of founders kind of learn this the hard way, that most of it sits in their brain, and then they want somebody else to do it. They think they can go in and just tackle it, but they don't give them the systems or the processes to do it exactly how you want them to. And then you get pissed off. You have to hold their hand, And then it actually takes more time for you to to coach them or basically just hold their hand through the process than it would for you to just do it yourself. So then you end up firing someone and you're back to square one.
Dude, absolutely, dude. Like you mentally think the hiring process is like, okay, cool. I'm gonna hire a person and get all of this time back. No, dude, fuck, you're wrong. It's like I'm gonna lose a lot of time, wait 3 months, and eventually gain my time back. And like I had a flawed mindset going into it, but you're fucking spot on, bro.
Yeah,
100%.
sometimes you got to take 2 steps backwards to go 3 steps forwards. It's all right. We all do it.
Like you said, it's a learning part of the game. You know, part of the
Yeah. So what does your team look like now? How many people do you have on the team?
three full-time reps on the internal side for like systems and operations. So one full-time account manager, they essentially take care of like list building, verifying the emails, drafting the copy, all that fun stuff. And then two full-time email uh email managers essentially. Oh, and I forgot, we have a full-time editor as well, and we are hiring, I think one or two, depending on like scale and projections here, but at least one. And his name is Glenn. He's fucking awesome. Like he's the guy. He knocks out so many videos in a day. He's good.
So real quick, just because I'm sure people can relate to this, or if not, like someone have a learning lesson around it. Because you said when you were hiring, it was just people and you were trying to get the job done. What I've found is like there's a kind of balance that you want to find in hiring someone where they need to be a good culture fit, but they also need to be just as excited about what you're offering as you are. They don't necessarily need to have like, yes, everybody wants to hire an A player right from the rip, but you can hire a C player who's really excited about what you're doing and turn them into an A player. Like, have you found anything around that where you necessarily didn't think somebody was a good fit in the beginning, or maybe they were, but then they turned out to be better than what you thought they were going to be?
That's very interesting. On the sales side, I don't think I gave each one enough time to actually improve. I'm very sure short tempered and very impatient, to be really transparent. And I'm like, fuck
Honestly,
it, I'm done. And I'm like, just cut the fuck off at the knees, dog. You're out of here. But Nathan, to be exact, Nathan Austin, he was a young hustler, bro. Like he did door to door sales for 6 months, got his teeth kicked in. So he had some sales experience. He just couldn't articulate himself with people doing like $10 million, $50 million
yeah.
per year in revenue. Like he like, no offense to him, he got really shy and timid and like couldn't hold down a conversation. So like we had to cut him. But he was making improvements along the way. He saw the potential, he saw the OTEs, on track earnings. He was getting better every day. But at the same time, the goal of the business is to be profitable. And when I'm trying to explain something to you, founder to founder, and the person I'm speaking to is just incompetent as fuck, it's like, why am I talking to you? Like, I'm wasting
Yeah.
my time talking to
You
you.
lose trust before you even get a foot in the door.
Exactly. The other person about being so bought into the offer, his name is Ryan Reynolds. Literally fucking the actor's name, bro. Shit you not. A fucking player, bro. Like can articulate himself extremely well, varied his cadence, just a player when it comes to sales, but more importantly, taking an idea, and I said this to you earlier, bro, taking an idea and making it their own, because that's how you truly internalize something, right? Like you can't read the textbooks verbatim. And then when the teacher asks you the question, you read it back verbatim. Like you just remember something. You didn't internalize it, right? And that's what Ryan did. He internalized the process. He was always coming to me via Slack, via phone call, like, dude, like, I love what you're doing. I see the process. I see how the mechanism is working. Like, nobody else that I'm aware of has this system. Like, I'm fully on board. And then the reason why we had to let him go, bro, is because he was still trying to work his other full time job and work this full time. And I'm like, dude, you signed up for this position full time. And I told you it's full time. And you also said to me that you're going to let the other company go. Now you're not. What's going on? He's like, yeah, dude, I just can't give another job. I'm like, all right, you're done. Fuck you. So I also cut him off.
Yeah. That makes sense. I've learned that one before. I've also done that before to people, but that's also why I've never signed a like non-compete.
Smart, smart, so smart.
But if you can make it work, then it works.
Yeah,
All
bro.
right, so you
My
go
bad.
ahead.
No, I just remember you saying that you were a fucking savage as an account manager, bro. Like handling 80 accounts under management as like one human being. Like that is fucking hats off to you. I would have lost my mind, but you knocked it out, dude. Good shit.
Absolutely. Well, I did lose my mind, but I was also younger and I could do it.
For sure.
All right, so you found what worked. you build the systems around it, you found the people to do it. Now, how have you honed in on your offer? Like, how has that evolved in terms of like who are you going after, and what does your offer actually look like, and why is it working now?
That is a great question. So, art, if we really take a step back and think about who we can serve like through this system, it's millions of businesses. But I know if you can serve millions of businesses, simultaneously your offer is meant for no one. So I come from the agency space. I know a lot of the agency lingo and the consulting lingo. So I niche down on marketing agencies, SEO agencies, consultants, coaches in the B2B space for several reasons. One is they sell a high ticket offer. I will be really transparent. Using the podcast as an acquisition system and as a content system is a longer sales process than most. It takes about 3 to 6 weeks from touch point to sign deal. And if you are having that many steps selling a, 1K, 2K product, it just doesn't make sense, right? But if you sell a, 50K average client value or 100 plus K average client value, it makes total sense to use this system. So you reverse engineered that process. Marketing agencies, consultants that have more than 4 employees that make over a certain threshold in revenue, that's the ICP, right? When it comes to the offer, we promise 30 recorded conversations within 90 days or a full refund. Every single time we have over delivered tremendously. One of our clients, shout out fucking Carl Holden, he launched with us 6 weeks ago. Emails went out 4 weeks ago. We already booked him 39 podcasts in 30 days. So we exceeded the guarantee literally within the first month. And the reason why we have that in place is to like, sure, to eliminate the fear of risk. But as business owners, I want to over fucking deliver and
Yeah.
way under promise because that's like, holy fucking shit. You said this, but I got this. I love that. Thank you. So like that's our mindset behind that approach.
I mean, it makes sense to me, but the one thing that I'm really interested about is like a lot of companies no longer have a guarantee. They're
Mm,
either too scared to do it or they don't have the ability to prove that they can.
mm.
So in terms of like, do you actually how heavily do you market that guarantee?
Man,
Like, do you stand on that 10 toes or like is it kind of leading into the conversation afterwards?
that's a very good question. So the offer, which is this topic right here, when you add a guarantee in it for cold traffic, I think having a guarantee in place helps you significantly. But we're not dealing with cold traffic. They've already spoken to us for an hour plus. Like they're lukewarm, if not really hot warm, right? So by building that trust, by building the I know you, I like you, and the trust factor, people rarely ask, do you have a guarantee in place? If they're like, it's a lot of money. What if it doesn't work? This and that, which is fine. What 12K over 4 months? It's not chump change. Like it's real money. We will definitely bring that up, and we'll also point that out within the agreements. That being said, if your TAM, your total addressable market, is like 10 fucking thousand people, dude, there's no way that we're gonna deliver 30 recorded conversations within 90 days because we'll hit your total TAM in like fucking 2 weeks, right? So we will decrease the guarantee while also decreasing the services we provide, which also decreases your investment. So whatever the investment range is, we want to match that with the guarantee. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, cool.
No, wait, let's backtrack a little bit because we've gone over the entire process to how you've gotten it. How long have you been doing this?
Dude, I've been in the agency space for 3 years. I used to be a door-to-door sales rep in solar. And I realized, dude, why am I knocking on fucking doors? Like, this is retarded. Or excuse me, this is dumb as fuck. And I'm like, there has to be a better way. And I essentially got into this program called Virtual Solar Club. And I paid for a mentor, Josh King, shout out him, super cool guy. Found actually some great success in solar. Was making like 150, 200K just as a sales rep. Eventually lived in, I guess the full story is like we had a training event in Tulum, Mexico, and I was working remotely at the time. And I was like, okay, if I like Mexico, if I like the surrounding cities, why don't I just live out there? So I moved to Mexico a bit early, stayed in Cancun, had a fucking blast, went to the training event, and my mentor and my friend Dylan we're going to Playa del Carmen afterwards. And I'm like, okay, like why fucking not? So we stayed there for a week, and I'm like, I'm in love with this city. Stayed there for the rest of my fucking 6 months duration, bro. Fell in love with that city, and essentially like worked remotely, had a bunch of fun, and then moved back after the visa expired. Well, ironically, when I moved back, I saw the shifts that were happening in solar. Like tax credits were being reduced from 30% to 26. The interest rates were fucking doubled, if not tripled overnight. So it made selling the actual product significantly more challenging. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. To be honest, like I was kind of fed up with it. Super, super long sales cycle, like 4 or 5 months to get paid after you make a sale. And I'm like, what do I kind of want to do, bro? I'm like, I used to run ads for myself doing solar. I kind of have an idea on how the fuck this shit works. Like, let me go and start an agency. So I did that. And I've realized running a paid ads agency, you cannot necessarily work with the best of the best when you have zero results. Right. So, and I don't want to work for free. No one wants to work for free. And I should have probably taken that approach a while back, but I didn't because maybe I'm stubborn and I just love money. Um, and I realized it was very challenging for one, for them to buy in on my retainer, which is like 2.5K at the time, and then also pay money for advertisements. Like that's two sales, right? One, trust me that I'm going to do the job correctly. And then two, pay money to Meta, which I'm not even touching, right? And again, as a novice with no track record, that was a harder sale. Ironically enough, bro, when I was trying to land clients for my meta ad agency, I used cold email and I actually got like results. I got fucking, and this was way back when, like where it's different nowadays, but I use cold email and I'm like, okay, like obviously I could kind of do this. Okay. I can charge way less money to get more clients and it's only one price. Like it's not two prices, right? Retainer plus ads. It's just cold email setup. And I'm like, okay, let me just fucking do this. And that's when we did traditional, hey, here's my offer. Do you want it? Right. Again, got good results because fucking, you know, it was way back when. Shit's different now. But, and then AI came out, Claude Code, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's try the lead magnet strategy. That didn't fucking work. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what else can we actually do? And to be really fucking fair, to be really fair, I, I modeled this process off a YouTube video I watched for 20 seconds. Here's exactly what the fuck I
No
learned.
way.
Here's exactly what I learned, bro. Dude said I would invite B2B executives onto an interview for a research study. And that is all I fucking needed. That is all I needed. I was like, wait a fucking second. Invite them for an interview. Research study. Why don't I just record that shit and call it a fucking podcast? So that's exactly what the fuck I did, bro. Legit. Like, swear to God. And then from there, that pivotal point, I don't want to say the rest is history, but like that's kind of how it got started.
Dude, that's a crazy journey. That's actually awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Life's a trip, bro.
All right, well, going back into kind of like where you are today for high ticket AI systems,
Yeah, man.
what makes you different than other people doing what you're doing? Like you have the offer, you have the guarantee, you have the credibility. Why would somebody choose to go with your systems over somebody else?
I mean, outside of the things that you just said,
I
that's a really no, really good question, Nathan. For one, um, I like to say the proof is in the pudding. We, to be straight up and transparent with the audience, we don't run traditional cold outbound anymore, and let me explain why. So we are running two systems. One was, hey, here's my offer. Do you want it? Right? The old way. And we were also simultaneously running the podcast as a lead gen system. Okay. The individuals that came through the here's my offer. Do you want it? The traditional way lacked so much fucking trust. It was like pulling fucking teeth on that sales call just to have a normal back and forth fucking conversation. And they would always never buy. And I did like 7 calls with that shit. I'm like, I'm done. On the flip side, we're still running the podcast system. Like everyone, like basically essentially just like trusted me. They liked me. Like they talked to me for a full 60 plus minutes. They hear how I sound, how I articulate, how I think, etc. Right? So you're asking me what makes me different? To be straight up with you, bro, outside of what you just said, like me. Like me as a human
Yeah.
being is what makes me different, right? That relationship that I actually built on that podcast is why I believe people like work with me. And one thing I love to say at the end of a sales call, if I get a sense that there's some doubt, it's like, if you think this is not going to work, bro, like, where are you right now? You're on a sales call. Like, the same system that got you here is the same system we're going to install for your business, bro. Like, how do you want to proceed? And they always have that realization moment, like,
Yeah.
you're right, bro. Actually, no, you're right. Let's do it. So I'm like, yeah.
So if a lot of it relies on Jordan, what happens if you scale too far? Where like, at what level or what capacity do you know are you no longer able to be the host of your own podcast? And
That
like,
is, sorry. I think I understand the question. Honest with you, bro, if you saw my calendar right now, you'd say, how the fuck are you even doing this shit? I think earlier I had 13 podcasts this week. I have three more today. So 16 podcasts in a week. So far from those 13 I've already conducted, 10 became sales calls. That's not including the sales calls for this week. That's not including like fulfillment and managing the team. That's not including operations and getting better systems. That's not including the fucking triage call that I have to take. So the answer to your question, Nathan, is fucking yesterday, bro. Like honestly, dude, I low key need another host and sales rep. Like now, that would be fan fucking tastic. But we are in the process of doing that. I'm just being way more strategic about the approach and not like ad hoc with the hires, like just random. We have a few good candidates in the pipeline right now. Few interviews set up, so that's good. But to answer your question, no. Did that actually answer your question? My bad.
it did.
You said when does it break? Okay, so it's not broken now. But like if I continue down this path and I continue to sign more clients, like eventually I think the systems are good, but me as the founder might be like, fuck, dude, I need a fucking vacation. Or like I need a fucking drink or
Yeah.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll give you the tail end of the question.
Okay.
When it does break and you do have to bring somebody else on to host your podcast, there's some level in which you're almost restarting marketing with that person. Because if you're inviting people onto the Jordan Lally podcast, but they're not on with Jordan, how are you going to go about that?
That is a great question. And I have contemplated that thought many times before I hired the two hosts and closers. There are podcasts out there right now that have co-hosts.
Yeah.
Why can't we? Furthermore, the show, they're coming onto the show. Sure, they might like me as a human. They might watch a few episodes. Jordan's cool. He's funny. He's handsome. Whatever, right? So they want to talk to me. Most of the time, I don't find that to be true. I think they're coming on because it's a podcast. We have a following. They get assets. Like the benefit outside of me is the reason why they show up. The second thing why I think this system, like you didn't ask this, but I'm going to say it. I think this system will work even if the founder of the company is not the host and the sales rep. Let me tell you why. If we can get a competent person that understands B2B, has sold high ticket B2B for at least 5 years, can have a founder to founder conversation, there's no doubt in my mind that they can host a conversation like you are right now and be able to convert that trust into a paying client and allows you or even me, the founders, to take on other responsibility and really grow the company. Like, to be honest with you, that is the next step that I'm getting to.
So when you kind of step out of that role and somebody else is somewhat taking over where you're still doing podcasts at the capacity that you can handle, what is your role going to turn into? Like, what are you going to be focusing on?
Great question. I have zero bandwidth to make educational content on YouTube as of right now. But as soon as I get some of my time back, I am posting 2 to 3 times a week educational YouTube content on what we believe is the best outbound system in the fucking space right now. And that's going to take 3 to 6 months. But dude, when that shit starts to happen, that creating organic YouTube content is a very similar trust building process that the podcast uses. Because I don't know about you, bro, but when I watch YouTube, I low key binge watch the people who I'm interested in. Like, I fully fucking trust that guy. Like, I've watched 6, 10, 20 hours of his content. You know, who fucking knows how much Alex Hormozy that I've watched? You know, like, I fully fucking trust that guy. So if I can replicate that process on YouTube organic, keep my costs super low, increase profit, bet your fucking ass I'm doing that. So
Oh hell yeah!
yeah, that's kind of the next steps on that.
So that's the next phase for Jordan Lally,
For sure, for
and
sure.
I can't wait to see that content. Ah,
Yeah,
seriously, dude, I'll watch it. All right, well,
we'll
I mean,
have
the
you
podcast is called "Why Marketing Sucks."
for sure.
So going back to where you started with solar, going back to having a meta ads agency, starting the agency you have now, how has marketing evolved in your world?
Yeah, so as a complete fucking novice dude, trying to create Facebook advertisements to homeowners when I'm a fucking 20, 22-year-old kid, that's dumb as fuck. You marketing really is so like its roots are in messaging, like understanding who the fuck you're actually speaking to, right? And if you don't use the same vocabulary as homeowners or be in a position like in front of a home or in front of an HVAC unit or in front of a place where homeowners are, the messaging is completely fucking off, right? So that was one thing that I learned, like know the fuck who you're speaking to. Secondly, how it's evolved with what we do at high ticket AI systems now with the help of AI and enriching data, drafting personalized invitations. I didn't get into this as to why they work with me. That's our secret sauce. Is we're not sending generic invitations. It's a personalized invite, like a one of one kind of read. Anyways, because we invite, fuck, why marketing sucks. How's it changed? Got you. Yeah, before running cold email, like back in the day before Claude and shit was here, I did not personalize the fucking email at the fuck all. It was just spray and pray. Now we can actually send less volume and still get way better results because we can personalize at scale for fucking cheap, right?
Yeah.
So that's how essentially I would say it has changed. Learning about messaging, and now that I understand who the fuck we're going after, I can use the knowledge I know to personalize that invitation with the help of like prompts and Claude and all that fun stuff.
No, I mean, everything has evolved so much that, like you said, you could personalize things, have less volume, but get more results. It's kind of just like going into any organic strategy now. You don't need the traffic you used to get more results than you used to before. Like, it doesn't necessarily matter if you get 10,000 people to a website or to a YouTube channel, whatever it is. You can get 10 people there, but if 9 convert, that 10,000 doesn't matter anymore. Just like
Ex-
10 emails, 5 people get in touch with you, where it probably used to take 500 emails for 5 people to get in touch with you.
exactly, bro. And I think a lot of people, including myself, right? Like I'll be transparent. I got like 20K followers on IG. Dude, I like know none of them, bro. Like vanity metrics is the point of this story. I think a lot of people get caught up in vanity metrics. And I bring up my Instagram following because none of them are like fucking, there might be like 1.1% that like are in the fucking space, but like mostly none of them or in the fucking space, right? That's a vanity metric. Oh, I have 20K followers. Like, high five me. I make $0 from my Instagram, bro. Who gives a fuck? On the flip side, business owners love how many views did I get on my podcast or how many clicks did I get on my website? Dude, who gives a fuck? How much money did you make from those clicks, bro? Like, how many views did you get? How many leads did you get from the viewership? And how many of those leads turned to fucking sales from viewership? Like, bottom line figures all the way. And that I don't know if that's advice, but just understand what's important in your business. You know, it's not always top of funnel clicks and views and followers. You know,
No, it's definitely advice because everybody wants to be the next Alex Hormozy or everybody wants to be the next big brand. We're like, you can get there eventually, but you can still make a lot of money taking those small steps to get there. We're like, they've been doing it for how many fucking years? You're not going to get there overnight. So knowing what's important and knowing what the actual value is that you have and making the money, whatever that money is that you are setting out to make, as long as you're doing it, nothing else fucking matters.
exactly, bro. And I think comparing yourself, I'm super guilty of this. I'm not sure if you do it, but comparing yourself to Alex is like dumb as fuck, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like dude's been in the game for 20 years at this point. Dude's like, just don't compare yourself with others. If it's anyone you compare yourself to, it's fucking yesterday, right? Did I get better today? You know?
That's the advice right there.
Yeah, bro, because like everybody has a story, everyone has a past, everyone has a completely different like upbringing, you know? And that upbringing is how we're conditioned today, right? Which leads to our habitual thinking process and our habitual behaviors. Alex grew up completely fucking different than me, bro. Complete and same for you and I. Probably, maybe, you know? So it's just like, I don't know, bro. Just focus on your business, your goals, your personal development, not anybody else's.
Absolutely. I mean, trying to get people to understand that is so hard because it's so easy to fall into the trap. You get on LinkedIn, you get on Instagram, you get on whatever it is, and you see these people with like nice cars. You see these people with like huge agencies making a lot of money, and you think, or not you, but like most people think, like, hey, I could do this and I want to do it by next week, or like that's the mindset they have, but they don't realize it took them 10, 20 years to get to where they are. All right.
That's
Well,
a great point.
I want to bring it back to you.
Yeah, man.
And I want to ask everybody the same question. So the title "Why Marketing Sucks" doesn't necessarily mean marketing sucks. As a founder, as somebody who has worked through the systems and all that fun stuff, how do you view marketing? Is it fun? Does it suck? Are there days like what does that look like to you?
I think without marketing, you don't have a business. I think marketing is the backbone and the lifeblood of any business. And ignore sales for a second, okay? Marketing gets people interested in your service. If nobody is interested in your service, no one's buying shit, dude. Like, you
Yeah.
can have a dialed in sales process, but if you don't talk to anyone about your product, you're cooked. You're not making any sales. So, I love marketing. I think I'm a creative human being, and marketing allows me to be creative and like spitball new ideas and kind of see what works. That process is fucking fun. I eat that shit up.
Yeah.
But from a business and like logical standpoint, like I said earlier, man, like the better your marketing is, the easier it is for your sales team to go out there and make sales. Right? If you can have a killer fucking sales team, but if marketing sucks, you're not winning, you know?
Do you view them as one and the same, marketing and sales?
Okay, thanks for asking it. Yes, yes, I do. Because take a door-to-door sales rep, for example. He is marketing and selling at the exact same fucking time. Marketing is sales one to many. If you watch a webinar and there's 2,000 people on that webinar, he's marketing and selling to 2,000 people at once. You know, they're definitely hand in hand. I do not believe you can have one without the other. Again, to drive in this point, marketing, in my opinion, is selling one to many.
And bringing it back to high ticket AI systems,
It's a
I think you
mouthful.
do an extremely good job at that.
What do you
Because
mean?
one, the marketing is done for you, it's also done for them. Like there's value in it just for them sitting here like we are for 30 minutes or an hour. They get the video, they can repurpose that if they want to. They get tagged in it, they get their name on it, all that fun stuff. But then, like you said earlier in the video, earlier in our discussion, is at one point it clicks to them. And then you don't even have to really start selling it. It's more so, how did you get on this podcast? How did the system that I built that brought you here is the same system that I could build for you to bring customers to you so you can have the conversation and then you could sell them. So it is one and the same. You're doing it and you do it in such a genius way that they don't understand that it's happening while it's happening.
It's like hypnosis.
No,
I
it is.
you thank you so fucking much for saying that. You boosted my ego 10 times for saying that. I've never framed it that way, but holy fucking shit, we're clipping that, dude. Thank you. I really fucking appreciate you saying that, dude. Thank you, for
No,
real.
I honestly, like, I haven't found, I think it's such a unique system that people aren't utilizing. And like, hats off to you and anybody watching this. Like, to be quite honest with you, like, I've worked with Jordan, and I know his systems, and I am a part of that. And I think it is like one of the most unique systems out there right now in terms of marketing. Like me as a founder, that was something I was lacking in because I was building all the internal systems, I was building my team, I was doing all that fun stuff, and then all of my mentors and everything like that were like, "You need to focus on marketing. You need to focus on getting new clients." And then talking to you, it was like, I can do all of that with your system. I get the content, I get in front of people, I get everything. I can repurpose it on every platform that I need to. So, I mean, dude, it sells itself. It's fucking great.
And you realize that, and you understand. It's just about helping
Absolutely.
other people understand that process as well. And thank you for seeing that, and thank you for believing in yourself, because we know for a fact that it's gonna work for you too, brother.
Appreciate that. Ah, well, thank you for inviting me on your podcast. That's how we started.
Absolutely, man. And from like me being in the guest seat, this is so much fucking fun, dude. Like
Ah,
talking
yeah.
about business, to just shooting the shit. Like even if no business ever happens, like for both parties, it's still pretty fucking fun, you know?
Oh, it's such a good way to spend 30, 60 minutes, whatever, out of the day and get in front of new people, whether it works out or not. Like you get to have these conversations, you get to see how people are going about, for me, marketing, or for you and whatever they're doing in their business. And then there might be ideas that you have that they're working on that like you haven't thought of and everything in between, which will bring me back to my next question. Everything you've said and what you do with your systems, like let's say those outbounds stop working. What is your plan for marketing?
When you say great, that is a really good question. When you say outbound, do you mean the current process we have, like cold email?
Yeah. Yes.
Great question. I've thought about that. I think I don't know, maybe I'm different. I don't fucking know, but I think business owners should think about what fucking happens if this shit stops fucking working. So LinkedIn.
Plan B.
You're right, right, right. And you gotta have one. So essentially, really direct, we would go hardcore on LinkedIn. Like if we had to stop emailing people, we would just rent LinkedIn accounts, still send the same amount of fucking volume, through that we are doing with email, but through LinkedIn. And we actually predict that we might get a better conversion ratio because there's a face, there's a banner, and just because you have a face there, it kind of builds trust. And cold calling, believe it or not, people still pick up the phones. And because we're inviting them onto a platform or a podcast and we're not selling anything, why, if it works on email and LinkedIn, why would it not work on a cold call? So great
Yeah.
question. And we do have backup plans in place.
I mean, it's really good that you're actually thinking about that. Most people don't. And for like me personally, I always have a plan B, I have a plan C, I have a plan D. Like I'm always planning for the worst case scenario. So no, it's really good. I mean, hats off to you for even thinking about that. In terms of your brand, in terms of like if let's say somebody has been on your podcast before, they go share that with somebody and they're like, "Hey, I think you would be a really good guest on Jordan's podcast." Do you do anything in terms of like owning the brand online? Like any reputation management or like what do you do for social media for people to really understand and kind of know what you're doing? Like do you have any game plan there? Do you have anything set in place for that?
That's a really good question. And I'm going to try to ask it back to you just so I understand. You're asking me, do I have a system in place that distributes the content and simultaneously ensures the marketplace knows that I own the High Ticket AI Systems podcast?
Yeah. So building the brand and building the reputation around it, are you doing anything to kind of control that? So, like, let's say if somebody were to like search for you on Google or Claude or ChatGPT, let's say somebody put something out there that's really bad about you, they had a horror experience with you, just as an example. Do you
Yeah.
have anything in line to like kind of control the narrative around your brand of what's Google or ChatGPT or anything like that is spitting out?
That's a really good question. I want to say yes, but to be really direct, I don't know. And I don't think
Yeah,
so.
most people don't.
Okay.
I was gonna say most people don't know because they don't necessarily know that they can do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, how the fuck? And I thought you would like tell me how to do it, but like, yeah, how does one actually go about that shit? I don't, and thank you for bringing that to the table because I should look into that for sure.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is just control the narrative around like whether you do PR, whether you get on other people's podcasts, or you do social media with other people and you do collaborations, or you could get on like, for example, like a listicle of the top 10 best podcasts of 2026. And then things like that get fed into Claude, ChatGPT, all those LLMs, all those algorithms. And then when people are looking up like what are the best podcasts for me to get on to put my name out there or whatever it is, like you could be mentioned on there, you could get brand visibility that way and kind of control the narrative around your own brand and get in front of people before they're even looking you up. My initial question was around the brand if they are looking you up, but then we kind of led into the the organic side of it as well.
Okay, my bad for not understanding it fully. But with that being said, I know because I do an SEO audit, well, kind of an AI SEO audit internally, and I try to ask questions, blah blah blah. And I notice that a lot of the where the citations are coming from, a lot of it is YouTube and LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But to piggyback off your point, I have not thought about trying to get ranked or listed in listicles about the 10 podcast or doing anything outside of what I'm currently doing to protect the brand. Because like you said, bro, if people are trying to do business with said company, what's the first thing that they fucking do? They look that motherfucker up, right? And if you have nothing to your name, that looks bad. If you have negative shit to your name, that might look even worse.
Yeah.
But I know when people like Google the company name now, a bunch of YouTube videos pop up,
Yeah.
LinkedIn pops up, our website pops up. So like, could it be better? Absolutely. But at least we have that, you know?
It's something I think you could even work into, not necessarily offer, but more so like why it makes sense for somebody to do right now. Like you just said, when you look up your brand, a lot of the YouTube videos come up, obviously, because you publish all your podcasts on YouTube. I don't know if you know this, but like ChatGPT quite literally just stopped citing Reddit entirely, like
Really?
a week or two ago.
I didn't know that.
Things like that, all of that is changing. And AI overview, stuff like that, YouTube videos, LinkedIn posts, all of that is being cited a hell of a lot more than it used to. So your offer and like what you do for people, I don't even think they understand the value of it because it actually builds the credibility that I'm talking about. Like it quite literally will, those algorithms and those platforms are looking for YouTube videos. They're looking for all that information to pull from just outside of your website. And you allow people to do that, but they don't even understand it.
Dude, you make me feel low key dumb as fuck because yes, that's exactly what we do. But I didn't even
Yeah.
say that, and it's my fucking company, bro. You're absolutely right. Maybe I was confused. It doesn't matter. But yes, dude.
No, I asked it like an idiot, but we got there.
No, you're good. But dude, you are so fucking spot on with that shit. Again, even if that guest does not become a paying client, you win, bro. Like, as the fucking host, you win. Your company is winning from the content, from the citations, from the long form assets. Like, regardless, it is a win win situation, even if no money is exchanged.
Absolutely. And I mean, in today's like marketing age, it's like building the brand and the reputation is now more important than ever. You have to be on every platform. You have to be doing X, Y, and Z. Plus, everybody and their mom has to be talking about you. And it's no longer like one, if you're not doing those things, then you're just not utilizing the tools that you have. Because like you've mentioned Claude how many different times? Like Claude seems like he's your best friend. Like your output has probably 10x, if not 50x than what it used to before Claude. So I mean, hats off to you and everything you've done. I think you've built a really good system. I think you have a really good agency. I think you have a really good offer. And really just kudos to you, man.
I appreciate that, Nathan. Thank you, man, for real.
Well, cool. So before we end it, what's the plan for high ticket AI systems over the next 12 months?
Absolutely. Real talk. If we can get two hosts, which essentially are our sales reps as well, one person that handles the triage calls and like have that system dialed in, I will reverse engineering the math and like if everyone hits KPIs, I will be in a pretty good place to not say like I have fuck you money, but like to be like really fucking rich in my opinion. Right. And like, yes, I do this for monetary purposes. I also love the work that I do. But yeah. So a revenue goal, we're not at like a million a month or like really close to that at all right now. But like I think it's like one thing that is really inspiring is hitting a million a month. Am I gonna get it in 12 months? Like fucking probably not. But like I'll fucking try. I'll fucking try. Um. So yeah, hope that answered your question.
Hell yeah. I mean, money's the reason why you're here. But like you said, I mean, that's one of the most important things that I think I take out of it is you love what you do, but you're doing it for money. And that's why you're going to be successful.
There has to be a driving force behind it, and I'll be extremely transparent with the audience. I love fucking money, dude. Like a lot of the stuff I do is sure is for money. Do I have like a healthy boundary with it? Yes, but and like there has to be a driving force behind what you do. Sure, money could be one, or like a charity event, or like Sure, a charity event that you're really, really passionate about, like a passion project. Like, there's no way you wake up every fucking day when like walls are caving in, there's a ton of fucking fires, people are pissed at you in this example, and you still wake up and fucking execute the fucking mission. You know, there's no way that you don't do that if you didn't have a fucking reason behind it. And it's sure, absolutely, absolutely, I love what I do, 100%.
Well, I think that's why you're going to be successful, man. And I mean, even real quick before we end, I literally frame that in everything I do, especially even with my own team. It's like we're all there because we love what we do, but we're all there to make money. And the
Yes,
first thing that I always talk about is money, whether they're making more money than they ever have before. Where did they start? Where do they want to go? Like that question comes up quarterly for everybody on my team because yes, we love working together. Yes, we have a cool culture. Yes, we have awesome clients. Yes, we love what we do like in its core. But if I wasn't paying them well, they wouldn't fucking be there.
exactly, exactly. Makes total fucking sense, dude. Yeah, bro. Like, money is not the root of all evil. Money's essential. If you want to live your best life, you need fucking money, dude. You know?
Absolutely. Well, Jordan, it's been great having you. Before we jump, where can people find you at?
Yes, sir. Real Jordan Lally on all social media platforms. That's the personal. Company name is highticketaisystems.com. Kind of a long one, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. Or check out our YouTube, Real Jordan Lally there, where you can watch all of our podcast videos and hopefully soon some educational content on how we run the system.
Hell yeah, man. I'll definitely be watching that. Well, thank you for joining us, Jordan. Audience, until next time, we'll see you on What Marketing Sucks.